Welcome back. In this segment, we're going to take a deeper look at the role play scenario we explored earlier through the lens of semiotics and semantics, two essential fields that help us to understand how language works beyond just words. Let's begin with the semiotic and pragmatic elements embedded in the dialogue. In our role play, we observe a workplace interaction between Angela, an immigrant from India, Monica, a marketing representative, and Diana, the boss in a Canadian company. While the surface meaning of the conversation was about brainstorming campaign ideas, the underlying process was reaching social meaning, power negotiation, and cultural adaptation. From a pragmatic perspective, the dialogue demonstrates how language use is adapted in context. For example, when Angela says, "Sorry if I'm speaking too formally, I'm still getting used to how things work here." She isn't just talking about language. She is navigating social norms and trying to fit into a communicative culture that values informality and collaboration. This highlights how speakers use directness, politeness, strategy, strategies, and tone to achieve pragmatic goals like inclusion, respect, or group cohesion. Now, let's explore the semiotic dimension. That is, the signs and symbols, both verbal and nonverbal, that convey meaning. Verbal signs include expressions like "feel free to jump in any time," which acts as invitation, a symbolic opening of space for participation, reflecting the inclusive values of the Canadian workplace. Back home, we usually wait for the manager to speak first, a sentence that carries cultural meaning, pointing to hierarchical communication structures. Nonverbal signs also played a vital role in the roleplay, even if implied. Angela's hesitant tone and pauses as signs of uncertainty or respect, common in hierarchical contexts. Monica's friendly smile and open gestures, implied through dialogue tone, symbolize encouragement and warmth, reinforcing a safe space. Diana's nods and affirming responses signal leadership through empathy, helping bridge the cultural gap without judgment. These semiotic signs, words, tone, gestures, and even silence, all contribute to the shared meaning and successful interaction in the scene. In short, this role play isn't just about the office conversation, it's a rich example of how people use language and signs to navigate new environments, adjust to social expectations, and build cultural understanding, a process deeply rooted in both semiotics and pragmatics.
Explain how the context the speaker's intentions on listening difference after the intervention of the condition based in contextualized principle, speech acts and the context pragmatic elements. In Canadian market context, the interpretation of a conversation is strongly influenced by the several pragmatic factors. In the context for the specific series interaction of the farmers market online negotiations, establishing Spanish on behavior and language. In Canada, a market context offered a place relief of relaxed formality and experience of rich, honestly. For instance, of farmer market, there being may be more informality and emphasis of the personal relationship between the seller, the buyer, that large in measure store. And the speaker intonations understand what the seller very wants to reach of the crucial is the salutary freight behavior push approach, provide information or simply be polite. Is the budget lowering a best price information about the product of just browsing intonation of the free language used to buys and no paper? The listening interface, the variety of cellular will make an interface based on the knowledge of the world, Canadian culture and expected situation. Pollinates principal Canadian culture generally varies, but it's among these can be relieved in use of indirect language apologists. In the speech actors, the action performed through language, so as of the recreation must the interpret with the Canadian culture context and the direct offer me being see already they say understood. Another pragmatic element share knowledge between participants, conversational intelligence, watch and CDV and the separation. Um, the fourth one is analyze the relation between the semiotic and pragmatic elements and study how they view influence each other and how they contribute to overlay mirroring of the role play. And in Canadian market scenario, semiotic elements, things and symbols, and pragmatic elements and interest link in the flush as the contours of the meaning of the interaction. Influence of the semiotics on the pragmatics verbal themes in words of phrase and the verbal themes in the gestual facial expression a tree preview of the founders which pragmatics interaction ability the influence of pragmatics on semiotics the pragmatic context can influence how things are the
Semiotic and pragmatic analysis of first impression at green marketing. This role play is rich in semiotic, scene based, and pragmatic context based elements that together shape the main of communication. Semiotic elements include verbal signal, specific word choice, and idiomatic expression. For example, throwing wine spaghetti at the wall, a nonverbal signal tone, formally, and implies social norm. Pragmatic elements include the intent being utterance, the police's strategies used, and the interpretation of the directed question. Reflection real world application and communication skills. The analysis showed that the learning and language go beyond grammar. It is involving understand how cultural norms shape interaction. What is considered polite, assertive, or inclusive in different settings. By analyzing semiotic and pragmatic elements, learning can adapt to new environment more easily, interpret other intention with greater accuracy, avoid miscommunication rooted in cultural misunderstanding, enhance intellectual competence and empathy in globalized professional settings. As Angela's transformation in the script demonstratives mattering the skills in essential for effective communication in multilingual and multicultural workplace.